Yes guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode number 18 of our AFC 26 career mode here with Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga, and we start off this episode after that great victory against Hoffenheim at the end of the last episode just by looking at the table. Usual suspects at the top, Dortmund leading the way, Leipzig in second and Leverkusen down in third. Bayern Munich flagging a little bit down in sixth, and there are ourselves down in 12th place currently, 7 points, 2 wins, 1 draw and 4 losses, so definite improvement needed, and that will start with the game at home against the team that are second in the league currently, RB Leipzig. And like I say, after that performance in the last game of the last episode against Hoffenheim, that 3-2 victory, Justin Jinmar getting a hat-trick, hopefully we can build on that performance. We know it's going to be a tough game against a good Leipzig side, some really good players in there and obviously playing well, being second in the league. We knew it was going to be a difficult one, but at home, with the home fans behind us, we were hoping to continue a good run of form and at least get a point out of this one, if not all 3 points. And it was ourselves who started the brighter of the two teams. Just 10 minutes in, Bangula picks the ball up on the left hand side, cuts it onto his right foot, gets the shot away, but a good save from ter Stegen actually, who is now the Leipzig goalkeeper after moving to them from Barcelona, but a good save from ter Stegen. And then about 10 minutes later, a good save from our goalkeeper Karl Hein to keep the ball out the back of the net and keep the scores at 0-0. But it was Leipzig who started really pressuring us here. Openda with a good shot there, but luckily for us smashed the post and stayed out back of the net. Then Openda once again on his left foot looks to drill one into that far corner, but Karl Hein was there with an outstretched arm to keep that one behind and push it out for a corner. Then from a resulting corner, it's Openda who gets a header. Good header from him, blocked on the line by the defender, but unfortunately with a little ping pong, Openda picks the ball up just outside the goal and does manage to put that one in the back of the net to give Leipzig that 1-0 lead, and his first goal of the game, his third goal of the season. And obviously we were behind at this stage, but we wanted to come straight back, and straight from kickoff we get a chance. Starger picks ball up, plays out to the left to Bangula. Bangula flicks one into Jinmar. Jinmar flicks into Machino, who looked to me like he was offside, but the flag wasn't raised by the assistant, and Shuto Machino gets his 6th goal of the season and brings the scores back in this one back to 1-1, and hopefully we can build from there. But unfortunately it was Leipzig who continued to press, and from another set piece, from another corner, it is their captain, the centre back Willy Orban, who rises highest, powers his header into that top corner out of the scope of Karl Hein's outreached hand, and he does get Leipzig the lead back once again to make the scores 2-1. And then just before half time, Leipzig coming forward once again. It's Openda once again with another good shot, but once again Karl Hein was there to tip that one round the post, and nothing further from that one. So we did go into half time with that 2-1 loss currently, but just 4 minutes into the second half, good save from Karl Hein from the shot, and then looked to get a quick break. Their fullbacks were pushing up really high for Leipzig, so we knew we had opportunities. Jinmar gets in, keeps his cool, slots it under ter Stegen, and brings us back level in this game to 2-2. And like I say, Jinmar scored a hat-trick in the last game against Hoffenheim, and he gets another goal here to bring himself up to 7 goals in 8 games, in really good form, and hopefully long may that continue. And then just a couple minutes later, Henrichs, the Leipzig right back, gets the ball here, but it's Justin Jinmar who nicks the ball off his feet, plays into Machino, but unfortunately Machino couldn't sort his feet out in time, and the goalkeeper did collect that one. And then Bangula down this left hand side again, been crucial in this game, plays in Starger. Starger cuts inside, gets the shot away, a little bit awkward looking, but a decent shot from him, and unfortunately hits the post. And then just a couple of minutes later, Openda gets the first shot, hits the post himself, and then unfortunately the rebound falls to him. Karl Hein couldn't react quick enough, and Openda puts it in the back of the net for his second goal of the game and give Leipzig that lead once again to bring the scores to 3-2 with just about 15 minutes left of this one. And then just a couple minutes later, Jinmar picks the ball up after we defended that set piece well, looks to beat the defender, he's got a couple on him, uses strength to hold off a player behind him, uses pace to get past Mittelstadt and onto his left foot, gets the shot away, but unfortunately a little bit too long taken on that one, and ter Stegen stays strong to keep that one out. And just before the end, it's Rosenfelder, the new boy in centre back, gets the header from the corner, but unfortunately it does go wide of the post, and the scores do stay at 3-2. So we do lose that one unfortunately, but a really good game. And like I say, Leipzig are second in the league, obviously in good form at the minute, so to only lose by 1 goal to them was not a bad result at all, and definitely some positives to take. And we get a message from Senne Leinen saying he wants more game time, so we do say to him, obviously we want to try and keep everyone happy, he's not a first team player at the minute. And then we do get a message from Ethan Koller, the 21-year-old American international, saying that he wants to look at a new contract. Before we go into that, there was a chance for Koller to impress and Leinen himself, as we do take to the DFB Pokal Cup, the German Cup, for the first time this season, and a complete change in our starting 11. You will think that we're playing Hoffenheim. We're not actually playing Hoffenheim. We are playing the second team. So Hoffenheim 2 we're playing, which is why we have changed the team completely up. Same formation, but different players. A lot of young players in here, and Collar gets a chance to impress us before obviously we go into those contract negotiations with him. But unfortunately, it was actually Hoffenheim who started the better of the two teams. They get a good chance here. The ball finds Reisig. He plays it back through to the attacker, but a good save from Smarkalev in our goal to tip that one around the post. So Smarkalev's one that we wanted to give more game time to, and obviously in this game he has that chance, but unfortunately he couldn't keep his clean sheet. And just half an hour into the game, Hoffenheim do take the lead with that goal, and a really good, to be fair, looped finish just into that top corner past Smarkalev to give Hoffenheim the 1-0 lead away from home. And then they kept pressing us. We had a really poor first half, to be fair. Reisig picks it up again. The man who scored their first goal pushes the ball forward, gets the shot away, but Smarkalev once again was there, stood tall and kept on our back of the net. So we did unfortunately go into the half-time break with that 1-0 deficit currently, and then just after half-time it was Hoffenheim who started the better of the teams in the second half as well. Good shot from their attacker, good save from Smarkalev, but unfortunately the rebound fell back to the attacker and Smarkalev couldn't react in time, and Hoffenheim did take an unexpected 2-0 lead in this game away from home, and we were really fighting against here. So we made some changes. We brought Musa on up top for top, and hopefully he could make a difference for us. And then straight from kickoff, we looked to obviously build. We did it against Leipzig early from kickoff after conceding. We got the equaliser against Leipzig. Looking to do the same thing here. Arda was the other player who came on in that central midfield role for Senilainen. Hansen Aaron picks the ball up, plays it into Arda. Arda cuts inside, plays it into Kovsnacki. He gets a shot, he fakes the first shot, gets the second shot away, and buries it into that bottom corner to reduce the deficit back to 1 goal. So that 2-0 lead that Hoffenheim had didn't last for too long, and now it is 2-1. And then fairly soon after that, just a couple minutes later, Kovic picked the ball up. Some really good feet from him. He looks to play in Musa down that right hand side. Really good way on that ball. Musa keeps his cool and slots that ball after just coming on. He slots that ball past the goalkeeper and brings us back level for the first time in this game. And we are now at 2-2 with the momentum in our favour, looking to try and take the lead in this one. And we've really started to pick up. Obviously I mentioned we had a poor first half. We really started to pick up in this second half, and it's Musa once again. Good strength from him, falls out to Collar, and it had to be Ethan Collar, the man who wanted to obviously talk about a new contract, does score to impress us and bring us into the lead. Musa made a real difference when he came on in this game. The strength and the speed of the young attacker really made a difference in this game, and obviously it was Collar who got the goal there. And then we did get another chance here. Musa once again with his left foot to make the game beyond doubt, but unfortunately just dragged his shot wide of the post, and it did go behind for a goal kick. And in the last minute of the game, the ball comes in. Henrik looks to get through, but unfortunately Malatini, the young Argentinian centre-back, dives in and brings down the Hoffenheim attacker with just not even a minute, probably about 40 seconds of added time left in this game. It didn't look, that looked a bit over dramatic to me. I don't even know if he made contact, but the ref made his decision, and unfortunately it was a penalty for Hoffenheim. And it's Apoku Labas who scored their second goal of the game, looking to bring the scores back level, and unfortunately for us he did fire that one. Smarkalev did dive the right way but couldn't breach it, and they did bring the scores to 3-3 in this one, which did mean we had to go into extra time in this game. After being 3-2 up in the last minute, they did obviously score that goal to make it 3-3, and it was basically a case of next goal wins in this one. And unfortunately it was Hoffenheim who did get that early goal. Reisig with a good finish underneath Smarkalev and brings the scores to 4-3 and puts Hoffenheim back in the lead. And to be fair, no one can blame them. They definitely deserve this one. They were obviously 2-0 up at one point. We did come back and have momentum in our favour, but unfortunately we did go back 4-3 in extra time. A good shot there from Arda, but unfortunately just whistled over the top of the crossbar. And then we did make a final change. Kovic coming off, Salafu coming in. Salafu actually went into centre-back, Malatini went to right-back, and the youngster from the youth academy, Seedle, went into that right-wing spot. But it was Salafu who made a mistake there with his clearance. Didn't quite get the contact on it, but fortunately the attacker couldn't put that one in the back of the net. But unfortunately we did run out of time in this one, and we are out of the cup at the first attempt. You'll remember back when we were managing West Ham, although our league performances were poor, we got really far, even into the final of the Carabao Cup, and we were a cup team, but unfortunately not so much with Werder Bremen, and we are out at the first attempt. And then some even more bad news, a train injury to Cole Hein, and luckily if we look here, he is only out for 10 days, so should only miss 1 or 2 games, but obviously a key player for us will be missing, and that first game that he will miss will be this one, away from from home against last year's Bundesliga champions in Frankfurt. Smarkalev obviously keeps his spot in goal to replace the injured Cole Hein. Diego Leon also keeps his spot in that left back role, coming in for Finkgraf. The rest of the side, the first team side, have all returned in this game. But like I said, we knew it was going to be a difficult game, especially away from home. But Frankfurt, if anyone saw the end of the last season, did win the Bundesliga ahead of the big hitters, and we knew this one was going to be difficult, and it got even more difficult just 10 minutes in with a Comical own goal. We did manage to get the ball off the attack. We played it back to Smarkalev. Smarkalev goes to hit the ball long through absolutely no fault of his own. It hits Alvaro and it does go into the back of the net for an own goal just 10 minutes in. And obviously we needed to try and scratch that one off and build from there. And Schmidt gets the first opportunity for us. Good shot with his left foot after driving forward, but saved by the Frankfurt goalkeeper. And then just before half time, Bangula gets the ball on the left hand side, flicks one in. Schmidt once again with a header. Unfortunately the keeper, good acrobatics from him to save it. Ball falls to Machino, but unfortunately he fired his shot straight down the middle, straight over goalkeeper, and it did stay at the back of the net. And then we did manage to get an equaliser eventually, similar to the own goal we scored. Namandi Collins, who, if you remember, we were actually looking to try and sign at the start of this season, gets the ball, he looks to make the clearance, doesn't realise Justin Jinmar's there. Jinmar just hits him, goes into the back of the net and gives us that equaliser to bring the scores to 1-1. And if you look at the replay, like I say, it's very similar to obviously the own goal Alvaro scored in this game. So 2 Comical goals in this one and the scores are 1-1. And then Frankfurt's heads drop, the ball came through, Machino just to keep his cool and slots that one underneath the Frankfurt goalkeeper to give us an unexpected 2-1 lead away from home in this one, and his 7th goal of the season. Like I say, Frankfurt won the league last season, although not performing as well this season. They've obviously still got a lot of the players that did win them the league last season, and to go 1-0 down early just 10 minutes in, we knew it was going to be a difficult one, but we took advantage of their heads dropping and we have taken the 2-1 lead. Now it's all just about not conceding any goals and hopefully coming away with all 3 points. We did bring Musa on. He performed well when he came on in that cup game, so we wanted to give him an opportunity here to come on. So we did come on for Schmidt, with Jinmar moving out to the right hand side on that right wing role. And then just about 15 minutes before the end, Frankfurt started to build something here. They got the corner, the ball comes in, Marcus Leonardo couldn't quite get there, falls out to Arthur Tiate in the end. Good shot from the centre back in the end, but straight down the middle, and Smarkalev kept that one out. And then just before the end, we didn't obviously want to concede any more last minute goals. It was a good header from the initial free kick that came in, but once again Smarkalev, good reactions from him to keep the ball out the back of the net. And then all we needed to do now was just defend this corner. The ball comes in, it's Christensen, the captain, who gets another header, but fortunately for us, nowhere near the target, and the ball did stay at the back of the net. So now it was just about getting the ball upfield, running down the last minute of the added time, and hopefully coming away with an unexpected victory in this one against Frankfurt. And luckily there wasn't time for Frankfurt to build on anything else. We won the ball back through Schmidt, and the referee did blow his whistle, and we did manage to get a win in this episode, and we did win this one 2-1 with a really good result against Frankfurt. So not the greatest episode in terms of going out of the cup, but definitely some momentum with that win against Frankfurt we can take on to the next episode. And then we did get a message from Smarkalev saying he's happy with the game time he's having. Obviously only played that game because of Cole Hein's injury, but happy with his game time. Obviously, if you look back to previous episodes, he has handed in a transfer request. His contract is coming up at the end of this season, so if he can get some more game time, potentially, obviously, we can look at a new contract for him, because we don't want to lose him on a free. And we did get a message from Alvaro saying he wants also to look at his contract, so we went straight into that with Skelly Alvaro's contract offer. Only 71 rated. He is 24 years old, so I don't think he's going to grow too much more, but he's been an absolute rock in that central midfield for us. He's 6'8", and he's an absolute athlete in the middle of the park. And we do go into contract negotiations with him. We agree everything, 2-year extension, rotation role obviously only being 71 rated, and we do offer him £15,000 a week to give him about an extra £5,000 a week from what he's currently on, and he was more than happy to take that. So we do sign the Frenchman up to a new contract, and we do have him for the long term in the Werder Bremen colours. And then we did also, after that performance, go back to Ethan Collar. He had a good performance in the cup game. He obviously scored his goal, and we did decide that we were happy to offer him a contract, provided obviously he wanted to accept our terms. So we went into negotiations, once again put him as a prospect, still only 21 years old, 2-year contract, and we did decide to up his wages from £2,500 a week all the way up to £4,000 a week. And the young American, more than happy to accept that, and we do manage to keep Ethan Collar at the team. So the 2 players who requested contract extensions have got those. And then we did go and look to see if we could get Smarkalev to discuss a new contract, but unfortunately the transfer request is still there, and unfortunately he's not looking to sign one just yet. He is the only only player with a contract due to expire at the end of the season, so we don't really need to worry about anyone else. But that is going to bring the episode to an end. As always, I hope you have enjoyed this one. Please comment down below any suggestions. As always, please subscribe to the channel to follow the journey. Like this video if you have made it this far. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.